Jake in Washington. Hey, Jake, you are on the air. What is up?
Hello, how's it going?
You know what? It's going great now that you're here, Jake. That's how it's going. I'm glad you're here, bud.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I've been watching.
Sweet. Tell me what's up.
Yeah, so I'm a big fan, just want to say. I've been an atheist now for a few years. And actually, the other day, I happened upon street epistemology, and I happened to watch the original video with you and I forget the other guy's name.
Anthony Magnabosco.
Yeah, no, Anthony Magnabosco. But then there was a friend of yours who, yeah, and you guys were both Christian at the time. And I got to watch your whole, at first I just watched that video of Anthony interviewing you and your buddy. And then that YouTube algorithm brought me to the video where, it turns out that you're an atheist now.
Yeah.
And you had thought a lot about that. And I thought that was super cool just to see your transformation and really relatable because I was raised Mormon and went through kind of a transformation of my own.
Well, I'm so glad you got to, and you know, that was being here now and getting more into it, like that was the goal. That was one of the reasons why I talked to Anthony again with that follow-up was, hey, I think people would be kind of interested in seeing like where I'm at now. You know what I mean? Because up until that point, I hadn't said anything about anything online. I wasn't plugged into any kind of communities. I was just like, oh, hey, I'm an atheist now. And like, it's kind of sort of part of that conversation that we had, you know, so it's kind of interesting. But yeah, I'm glad that you got to see that, Jake.
Right. And it's so cool how now you're running your own show with the atheist community of Austin. That is just so awesome.
Yeah.
So,
it's been, fan. I'm to use a word that you wouldn't think I would use, it's a blessing. It really is. I'm so happy with what I've been doing here and what the community's accomplished. So yeah, I'm really good. But I'm not here to toot my own horn here, Jake. I'm here to answer your questions. So what else do you got for me, man?
Well, I was just going to ask what advice you would have for someone kind of aspiring to move in the same direction you have. And just, I would like to, I'm where you used to be. I've never said anything online.
Yeah.
You know, I've never really tried to do anything like that, but I've been very interested in it for a while. And I care really deeply about just kind of helping human progress and the advancement of our species' ability to just kind of have conversations about difficult topics with each other and think about these things. So I was wondering what advice both of you would have for someone trying to move in that same direction. And also, I don't really have a community around me. I mean, I found there is an atheist community of Washington, I think. And it's pretty liberal up here, so I know there are a lot of like agnostic atheists, but I'm trying to get more involved in like a community of like-minded people. So just wondering any advice you guys have for that.
Yeah, I'd love to start on this, and then I'd love to let Sassy pipe in. But man, so that was my first struggle too, was like, all right, I'm an atheist now. Now what? Like, where my community at? You know, part of that ended up being the ACA, but you know, that was an 1.5-hour drive that I made every weekend to come down here. I actually started first doing call screens for Atheist Experience. And that's kind of how I started getting involved here. But I also got involved with the Secular Student Alliance. That was kind of local to me, which I found. And it was like the only group in my entire area. Like there was a Unitarian church. But, you know, a lot of those folks, they were a lot of older, you know, and it wasn't really kind of a hangout kind of fun kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, at least not for me, right? It just wasn't for me. So one, like having that community that you can plug into, especially if you're getting into YouTube, man, like I can get you set up with some people who would definitely love to talk to you and see what you're about. But I'll say this, if we're talking about YouTube specifically, right? First, I'd say, you know, find a community that wants to hear you first and you can bounce ideas off of and stuff like what you want to do. But I have a story, and that's really awesome. I'm glad I get to tell people my story, and that's out there for people to see. You have a story too, Jake. Sassy has a story. Everybody has a story. And I imagine your story, Jake, would probably connect with a lot of Mormons who are questioning what they're doing right now. So like if we're talking about what kind of stuff you want to do, I'd say like find your angle, man. Like find what niche you can fill, what hasn't been said, what experiences need to be spoken about. So yeah, you can find kind of a place at the table, and there's always going to be a place at the table. Even if you just go through the generic, like, oh, I'm just gonna, disintegrate this apologetic. I mean that's cool too, man. Like just like there's a time and place, and the people who are on there making that kind of content, I love them just the same. But you know what? I think what the community really needs right now, and what people really need, are the life experiences and stories of people that you can relate to on a level that. Look, I could talk to 100 Mormons, but they're not going to be able to see me on the same level as they might see you, right? Because I don't have that experiences as Mormons. I don't have that culture. I can't speak their language as well. So that would be my advice, right? Like, figure out what that niche is, see what you can do, and like, how can you incorporate your story in the way that you talk to people, Sassy, what do you got?
I say that for anyone out there that is questioning and is doubting or is thinking about, moving in a different direction and don't feel that they hold the same belief anymore, I say that there's nothing wrong with questioning, with asking questions, and with having doubts.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with trying to take the time to figure out what you truly believe and do it for yourself, not because what someone else says that, oh, this is right and this is wrong. Do it what makes you happy and do what you feel is right. And it's nothing wrong if it takes you or someone, a while to get to that point where, hey, okay, this is what I believe in. All of us are on our own path, our own journey, and it's a different time for each one of us, and our path doesn't look like the same like others. And also what I encourage is that if you have the chance to tell someone and to help someone with your story or whatever you've gone through in life, do it, because it is really important. It isn't just going to help you feel good about yourself and to help you grow as a person, and it's to help others and to help that person and what they're going through.
Yeah, for sure. It's about helping, man. That's what I mean, that's my approach to it, right? There's definitely some people who just want to take people down, who just want to end the system, man. And if that's your deal, more power to you. But you have a unique position, I would say, especially with your background and what you probably know, that I think could be lifted up more. I've said this before too. Especially Mormon voices and ex-Jehovah's Witness voices, I really want to give more of a platform to, because look, I didn't know what was up with you guys. I just knew you were the guys that rode bikes and wore and just wore ties everywhere, I guess. But like when I started to hear the Mormon stories, and when I started to hear the theology and the history of the church, and like that's like, whoa, like why isn't everybody talking about this? Like, this is crazy. But hey, man, that's something you can talk about, So anyway, that's my 2 cents.
And there
Jake, what do you
aren't
think?
too many voices talking about.
Not enough voices.
Like I don't hear too many ex-Mormons. There's a lot of ex-Christians and stuff, but I haven't heard too many ex-Mormons.
There's an ex-Mormon podcast community out there right now, which is really fascinating to me. I don't know how well that's translated to YouTube, but yeah, I mean, Jimmy, Mr. Atheist, is probably one of the more well-known ex-Mormons that I know of. But like I said, there's always room at the table for more people and more voices and experience, and that's my advice, man. Like, start off with that. Figure out what you can say to people, and yeah, that's it, man. That's all I got. What do you think?
I think that's great. I really appreciate the advice. Thank you very much.
And Jake, are you on Twitter at all?
I have a Twitter.
Okay. I was going to say, you should message me later, dude. Like, if you want some more advice or you want to talk to some other people, man, I have an email as well. And that's for anybody who wants to talk about, like, getting more involved in a community effort. Definitely email me, truth@atheist-community.org. And I'd love to be in touch with you, dude.
Great. Thank you so much.
Cool. Yeah, we'll talk to you later.
Thank you. Bye.
Talk to you later.
It's cool. I like it. I like that so many people have decided to do this crazy internet thing, man. Like, it's great.
Yeah. A friend of mine just sent me a photo. I think she's outside of your studio because she says this picture of me on the screen and you in the studio.
Yeah, there. I think she's in the studio right now. I've just seen
Oh my
some people walking around. So, yeah.
I was like,
It's a
that's me.
It's a live show, folks. You can come in every Friday. We're open.